the mind. Okay. So let's take a look. Where are we? Okay. So basically, we have already finished the introduction. We talk about the learning attitude. Second, the benefit of meditation. We have finished by watching a video clip. Then we go to the conditions. Condition is in self-restraint. Yes, we are in self-restraint, and we are still in the 5 precept, 5 wonderful precept. Okay, please take out your notes. Okay, 5 wonderful precept. Okay, so today I think according to our scope, we are able to finish the 3rd precept, 4th precept, and the 5th precept. We are able to finish all. And maybe including, I think we are able to finish 3 of them, and also maybe including 3 types of people. So let's take a look. Okay, in our previous lesson, we talk about the 1st precept. Okay, class. Okay, can Amanda read the 1st and 2nd precept? The remarks in red, no need to read. Aware of
the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I vow to cultivate and learn ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I am determined not to kill, not to let others kill, and to condone any act of killing in the world, in my thinking, and in my way of life.
Sorry, Amanda, if let's say the remarks in red is additional, then no need to read. But the remarks is the text. Please read.
Okay.
2nd precept.
Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I vow to cultivate loving kindness and learn ways to work for the well-being of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I vow to practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. I am determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. I will respect the property of others, but I will prevent others from profiting from human suffering or the suffering of other species on earth.
Yeah, thank you so much. Class, if you remember, we have gone through a few cases, the controversy. So for the case number 1 is about a pregnant, a pregnant woman who had been raped. Okay, and then suggestion for the abortion. All right. Then second, we got another case for the euthanasia. All right. So we discuss about it, go quite deeply. So regarding the no killing, no stealing, so we go through a very polite robbery. Okay, a very polite robbery. And another case is regards the exploitation of the the exploitation of the 3rd world country by how to say by sabotage the labor. Just pay less. They pay less for the labor costs. Okay, so that is the issue we finish. All right. Today we go to the 3rd precept. Am I right? Correct. Okay. Yes. So 3rd precept. Yeah. Yong Xin, can you please read through it? 3rd precept. Okay.
Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I vow to cultivate responsibility and learn ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. I'm determined not to engage in sexual relations without love and a long-term commitment. To preserve the happiness of myself and others, I'm determined to respect my commitments and the commitments of others. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct.
Okay, thank you so much. Class, your notes, the note itself have already been highlighted. Is this correct, class? Yes, okay, thank you so much. So we can directly discuss. Okay, class, now we go to the 3rd precept. It relates to the sexual misconduct. basically, class, if you go through the newspaper, I still read newspaper every day. One is a Star, one is a Sinju. Well, the case which involves the third party affair basically still happening every day. And this is more common in entertainment field compared with our normal people. Maybe maybe the reporter, they prefer highlight and also prefer exaggerate the third party issue for the entertainment industry. And also maybe people, they prefer gossiping, okay, over the third party issue, in the entertainment industry too. Well, basically, once we talk about from sexual misconduct, meaning to say that sexual misconduct is improper. In other ways, the sexual, which is not misconduct, is legal and also is allowable in the point of the religions. Okay. Well, the definition is, if let's say you've gone through a proper procedure, okay. For example, okay, in Chinese, what they call the 斟茶, what they call 拜天地, so meaning to say you get the, you get the, how to say, you get the validation by bowing to the heaven and also to the earth, or maybe you just, the couple, okay, try to present the cup of the tea to the parents, okay. Well, it seems that I think different traditions have the different way to show that, to confirm the relationship between the new couple, the newly married people. Definitely for, just now I already put an example for Chinese, okay. How about Sri Lanka? What are their ceremony to prove the, the relationship for a newly couple?
I'm not sure if we have something like you said. It's mostly if people are getting married, the man gets permission from the wife's family first before they get married. It's just something like that. But I don't think we have a tradition like that.
You don't have
I don't.
For us, as long as you finish the ceremony, or maybe legally, you go, legally after you sign your name and in front of the, how to say, 结婚那个宣誓官的英文叫什么哈？结婚有个宣誓官的嘛 ？The witness, okay. So once you recognize each other, for Christian, they will say I do in front of the pastor, okay. But if let's say you go to, maybe Tian Ho Gong or where to do the registration of the marriage, okay, there will be one witness to prove that yes, okay, both of you are a couple, okay. Who have gone through the procedure, in front of the witness and do the registration, sign the name. Who have gone through that? Anybody gone through the procedure? Okay, Chin. Yes. Did witness say anything? Like father said that, okay, please say I do. If let's say you admit that both of you relationship is a husband and wife. Chin, do you remember?
I cannot remember idea. So what? 30 or 40 years ago, cannot remember.
Sorry, you forget what is your promise to your wife.
Maybe my wife will remember.
Because very long. But they should say something, right? Like a father say, oh, you say I do, you do, then that's the marriage already, that's a relationship. But say something
like that, I think.
Something
cannot
like
remember.
Yeah. But you still remember the signature, remember like your son.
Yeah, signature, yeah. We sign, we do deposit our signature there.
That is the most crucial because once when everything has been legalized, meaning to say that your son, later on your offspring, they will get a status. If let's say any other case happen, right?
We do it at the Pahang Buddhist Association.
Oh yeah, really? Yeah. I
Yeah.
did that before. Yeah, they are the few of the number of the organization who conduct the registration.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Well, basically, after the ceremony and once the sexual relationship happen, we call it as a legal, legitimate. Even though without go through the, from the eye of the law, okay. But the traditional, even though the traditional ceremony and ritual is not recognizable by the law, but it is recognizable by the religions ourselves. We recognize that as long as after gone through the religions, there will be the proper, of the relationship. Well, basically, I have gone through, some psychology or what. Some suggest that it is good to have offspring. According then they say, love is something so wonderful between opposite sex, or even though now homosexuality is something so wonderful. Well, basically, once people fall in love, they will exaggerate each other the good point, and they will, because they are in the love already. But anyway, the sense of the love, if according to science, it may trigger by the dopamine and serotonin, all this, especially dopamine. The excrement of dopamine will make you feel happy. Okay, and basically, the excretion of dopamine is due to the opposite part. The counterpart make the creation of the dopamine, so you feel the feeling of love. But sometimes, maybe after the marriage, for let's say 2 years, some people mentioned to me that some maximums of 2 years. After 2 years, the feeling of love will gone and disappear. Am I right, Chin? How long can you sustain the feeling of love, Chin?
Until today lah.
Until today, wow.
Yeah, good.
Applause to them. You're very good. Yeah. Well, basically, Chin, this is very crucial, because once the feeling of love disappeared, basically, some no matter man or woman, once they feel boring in their life, okay, they may look for other people. That is the beginning of the third-party affair. We discourage third-party affair. The reason is we are not polygamy. As the Oriental, we don't practice polygamy. Okay, no wife are so generous to share their husbands to other people, except you are Muslim. Basically, as a Buddhist, as a Chinese, we can't bear that. Finally, your son, your son or daughter, they will be victimized. And they will be victimized and traumatized and affect their future. And this is the main reason why we prevent the third-party affair. Okay, well, besides we want to prevent this, another reason is due to the meditation. Okay, let's take a look at why do we say so? The reason is about the chakras. Plus, let's take a look. Okay, class, this is our chakras. Basically, if let's say here is the navy, okay, here is the navy part. We got 3 chakra below the navy, and we got about 4 chakra upper the navy. All right. Basically, the chakra is below. The below 3 chakra, they are more. They reflect your urge. And desire in the mundane world. The lowest 3 chakra, especially for sexual chakra. If the person they practice a sexual relationship, they practice they practice indiscriminative sex, meaning to say that there will be over exhaustion of the energy from the sexual chakra. For those who can meditate very well, it's due to the balance between 7 of the chakra. Once 7 of the chakra is balanced, how can we balance the chakra? The method is we try to make the flow of energy from one chakra to another. Okay, the chakra will flow to one another to another. And for those who can meditate very well, it's due to the richness and also the fullness of the energy in the top of the chakra. And if let's say for those who overexhaust, who emit their energy from the lower part, so meaning to say the lower part chakra doesn't have enough energy to provide doesn't have enough energy to make it flow up, and the energy at the upper part have to flow down. So meaning to say that it is not that conducive for a higher attainment of the meditation. So that is from the yoga point of view. Okay, why? The reasonable sexual relationship is necessary to produce offspring. From Buddhism point of view, it is allowable and also necessary for the layman. Okay, but if let's say you feel boring already with your partner, and you look for other people, and also you do it indiscriminatively, so finally end up as a Buddhist, you wouldn't meditate well. That's the reason why we ban it also. And because once you make, if you let the sexual urge just rolls up by itself, meaning to say that you make yourself always in the mundane world. Once you are in the mundane world, your sexual chakra is over-operating, is overactive, so you can't develop the upper part. You see, you come here, you learn the meditation, why you can sometimes can sit very well. Once you sit very well, meaning to say that 7 of your chakra all are balanced, and the upper chakra is extremely powerful. Then you can sit very well. So some even are able to see the light or appear during the meditation is due to the energy, the concentration of energy at the upper part of the chakra. So do you get it? Okay, so this is from religion's point of view. But anyway, but if let's say, at the same time, if let's say you over meditate, if you make you the urge, the sexual urge will be reduced. Okay, that is also discouraged, especially for the newly married people and for those who hope to get children. So you don't over meditate. You have to meditate moderately. That will be enough. Because you're not a monk like us. Because we promise for the chastity. So basically, we have to meditate more so that we can control, we can make the balance of all the chakra. It's important for the people like us. So you get my point? Okay, so that's the reason why we have to, you have to adjust your energy in the different stage lifespan. In a different stage of lifespan, you have to adjust it, okay? And preferably, the couple, both of them practice meditation are the best. Because meaning to say, they have a good coordination in their lifestyle. You get what I mean? Okay, no matter anapanasati or chanting Buddha name or the mantra, if it works, basically all your energy will be balanced and will be more concentrated at the upper part of the body, as long as it works for you, the meditation method. So once your mind is clarity, so you don't feel, your attachment to the mundane world is not that strong. Not only sexually, it's including maybe the mundane world is about the food, about the possession of the car, possession for the Gucci bag or LV shoe, all this type of stuff. All will be reduced at the same time, because all are categorized in the same group. It's the same group. We call it as a sexual. We call it as a mundane desire. Okay. Well, basically, how to prevent all this? Okay, as a Buddhist, okay, we encourage you to do some celebration for the anniversary of your marriage, so that how should I pray? You should have maybe you should make an appointment and have a romantic candlelight dinner just to make each, how to say, to make yourself fall in love again to your wife or husband. I have to say so. Why I say so, the reason is it happens that some diploma or degree holder for the Buddhist study, they encounter separation. They divorce. So finally they will come to us. Well, okay, how should I advise? So I say, first of all, basically, the relationship can go on bad easily, especially for the criticism. According to some statistic from the psychology study, criticism is the most crucial. You forget how to praise and appreciate to each other. Once both of you met each other, must always, I mean, to show the appreciation, say thank you for your kindness to, I mean, whatever thing. Well, in I mean, ancient time, ancient time, not now. Basically, women do all the chores, men go out and work and earn the money. So for men, you have to remember buy the cosmetic back to your wife. Because all the women prefer they will prefer make themselves beautiful. Buy cosmetic and say thank you all the time is very important. And also sometimes the wife have to play roles to coordinate with the family member for the husband. You see, there's a lot of job and pressure. If the relationship is so good, they always can talk to each other for the working, for the problem from the family or from the working environment, they will be very fine. In the ancient time, basically the wife have to let the husband sleep first before she sleep. But no way for nowadays. Because nowadays, both couple, I mean, they share the equal burden, I mean, financially. Am I right? Yung Sin, Amanda, share equally, right? Financially and also the chores, am I right? Nowadays.
We are not married yet, so.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, basically, Chin, it looks old. Will your wife let you sleep first, and after once you sleep, then she sleep? Does she follow the very old style?
No.
No, already lah.
We
After
are modern.
what?
No.
No more.
We share everything we share.
Oh, share lah.
Yes, financially and everything lah. We share with each other.
Because Chin, you're about 60 years old, meaning your wife's also 60 years old. Both of you are highly educated. Both of you.
Yeah, correct.
That's why, you see, basically, I mean, in your time, it's already shared to each other already. So,
Yeah, correct.
the situation is different. But how to, I mean, mutually respect, that is the very
we have to respect each other.
Okay. Well, besides this, there's a few details which is not in the notes, but I have to remind to you all. Basically, if both of you are recognized to each other relationship, okay, avoid together, I mean, with other opposite partner, especially individually, have to avoid, okay. If let's say there's one lady come to my temple, I will open my gate to her. The reason is, no matter how good the achievement for ourselves, we know only. But if let's say one woman get into our temple, the neighbors start to gossip. You know why? So that's the reason why monks are not allowed to stay together with a single woman in a room, including a car. This is why some laymen that come, they will have to understand how to protect the monk, so they will try to avoid let a lady together with a monk in a car or in a room or in a temple. Do you get it? Okay, but I think it's the same for those married. The reason is if let's say you got opportunity to stay together, all right, provided that both of you are unhappy in your marriage, okay, maybe you are not happy in the marriage, so meaning to say that there is the opportunity once you start to counsel each other, want to start to console each other, then it's the opportunity, the third party affair to come up. Basically, it would happen just by snap, it would. It must be, I mean, if let's say you are very full, your stomach very full, you won't go out to look for any food. Am I right? You are very full already, not necessarily to get the food. You go out to look for food, you must be empty. You must be empty, you must be hungry. Then you go out to look for the food. So if both of them are looking for the food, so the chances is there already. And also avoid physical touching. So that's why if let's say a lady pass me any stuff, basically we wouldn't go to grab it. I mean, without touching each other. So they will put in one things and pass it to me. I think it's the same for you all. Basically, touching, according to Abhidhamma, touching is the very strongest point to trigger the problem. I think maybe you believe eye contact and touching, and also provided with other conditions. So there is the opportunity to make things happen. If let's say you found that, oh, the sensation of love arose, and you notice that, oh, you shouldn't continue, you shouldn't proceed the relationship, please separate yourself. Basically, the sexual attraction between each other is so strong. You can't, not many people can really overcome it. So preferably you separate yourself from the counterpart. Okay, so maybe once, okay, after if once time is enough, then the feeling will gone, then we'll be fine already. Okay, so this is a few things, to remind you and also remind us at the same time. Okay, so that is a certain thing regards to the sexual relationship for the sexual misconduct. Well, there will be some details in this precept. Okay, shall I know who does read Mandarin? Please put up your hand. Who does read Mandarin? Okay, Yung Se, Amanda, and also Chin. Okay, for those who does read the Mandarin, you can try to get the material from this book. Please copy down this book. Well, basically, there's a lot of details in the books regarding the third precept. I feel it's not that suitable for me to talk about all the detail here. So you better go through by yourself. Okay, you go through by yourself. Okay, for those who understand, let me see, let me go to check whether they got the material in English or not. It's quite detailed regarding the sexual misconduct, the definition in details. Okay, so class, you go through by yourself. Okay, okay. Well, besides the sexual misconduct, there's also something regards this. Maybe I have to add in something that class basically sexual relationship is very common. In our human world, but we also notice that in the animal world kingdom, and also in the deva. There's one. The deva which is above below the jhana. We call it as sensuous deva. Basically, the sensuous deva, they still want to eat the food, and also they will produce the offspring. Once you try to count all together, we call it as a sensuous sphere. That is from the Buddhism definition. So sensuous sphere include the hell, hungry ghost, animal, human, asura, and also the deva, the sensuous deva. So all of us are subject to food and also the sex. Basically, once you keep on upgrading yourself spiritually, once you reach the highest level of the sensuous deva, when your surpasses go to the jhana, first jhana, oh, there is some wonderful there, because there's no more opposite sex, and also no more food is necessary from that level onward. So meaning to say that if you're able to meditate until to the first jhana, so your frequency will be equivalent to the deva in the first jhana, which is free from food and sex. You don't need both of it, because you yourself already enjoy you get the fullness from the jhana itself. No need to eat any food. So that is a special thing, and you are able to make it. If you are a normal human being, through the meditation, you are able to attain the jhana and enjoy the jhana. Okay. Well, this is something if let's say you are ready to proceed for that level, you can go in deep, because we can provide the courses for you to make you understand. You can go deeper. But actually, most of you come to class, it's just for stress reduction, or maybe come for healthy, not really go to what first jhana, second jhana, not that far. But I can tell you, that is your future if you wish to proceed it. Like Chin, Kamling, Anya, your age shows that you should prepare yourself to go for the higher spiritual development. Am I right, Chin? Yes, you agree. Yeah. Okay, that is to think about it. Okay, yes, any question regards this? No, okay. Then we got a second issue regards, see, I love you. Okay, next. So besides we talk about the sexual misconduct, we also mention regards this. Take a look. Protect children from sexual abuse. Okay, this is something regards to the pedophile. Okay, pedophile is somebody they attain a sexual climax through having the unproductive sexual relationship with the children. That's we call it like pedophile. I think nowadays, I mean everybody exposed to the information, you feel nothing with it already. Not shameful to talk about it. You have to really understand, because especially you have to protect your children who are below, maybe below 18 years old, below 18 years. They are still considered not children anymore. I think maybe below 12 years old. You have to protect them, because these type of pedophile, they will victimize them and they will target them. Pedophilia is the phenomenon that which is uncurable from the psychology point of view, which is uncurable. Okay. Nowadays, if let's say people, especially online, nowadays, if you go through, to the internet, you understand that there's a lot of pedophilia that conduct activity, online, in the dark website there. So how to prevent and protect our children? So basically, must be inculcate them the sexual education, and to prevent themselves from somebody who acts so awkward to them. And if according to the science, something we discovered that basically the sex of the pedophile are male more than women. We don't know why. Basically, if you really go through and discover, basically they are the perpetrator are male rather than the female. That's first of place. Secondly, it is uncurable. Nowadays, psychologically, is uncurable. So thirdly, if let's say you really go to now the website, I discovered there's something they call it as a virtual pedophile. Through online. Let's take a look. What does it mean, virtual pedophile? Because previously we got a few cases involved the pedophile. So it bring me the attention to focus this issue, and I discovered this. Let's take a look. They call it as a virtuous pedophile. Pedophile. I don't know how to spell it. Yeah, pedophilia. Oh, sorry. Yes, this is the one. Virtuous pedophile. Virtuous pedophile is a group of people. Once you recognize that you are the pedophile, you promise not to hurt the children anymore. So they invite the people to join them. They request our society to understand them that they are also the victim, but they are not solely the perpetrator. Well, I think we have to understand also, if let's say, in case of the people around you are the pedophile, maybe you can do something to help them. Okay, well, nowadays the thing can do basically you go to the psychology, okay, the psychology, and see how can the psychology to help them, but basically they can't change it. If you are free, you can go through the virtuous pedophile, you can have a look. Some pedophiles, they claim that in the beginning, maybe all boys they play together. Basically, all boys during the childhood they play together. Even though they piss to each other, they will also go to see each other, the sexual organ. This is very common for boys, okay. But for certain people, they feel enjoy also, but they will also they found that it's very common and normal. But some people after the adolescent, okay, maybe about 18 years old, the enjoyment is still retained at that level. Meaning to say there's still target for the children to get the joy, but the rest of the normal adult, once they become adult, their sexual fantasy target turns to become the opposite sex. And that is how the pedophile discovered that, how come my sexual fantasies just retain in, I mean, during the childhood time, then they realize that they got something wrong in themselves already. They know there's something wrong already. Do you get it? So that is how they discover themselves near the pedophile. Okay. So this is something, the issue is not new already in Europe. Now that we have a special treatment for them, and now in society, basically will record them. Okay. Well, it makes the pedophile, they want to hide themselves again because the society doesn't forgive them. Okay, and also we got frightened also because if let's say they victimize our children, the traumatized children finally end up might become the pedophile again. That's something we are so worried about. Okay, so this is the issue about the pedophile. I think, yeah, for Chin and Kamling, are you exposed to this issue or it is too new for you? Chin?
Actually, this one,
nothing new lah.
nothing new.
Nothing new lah, because you look highly educated. Anya, you feel uncomfortable once we talk about this issue? Anya, uncomfortable? Feel okay? Feel okay lah, huh?
I'm okay with it. I'm used to, you know,
You used to
reading and seeing these type of things.
Yeah. You have to really understand and protect your grandchildren. Have to really protect them. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you ask from the point of Buddhism, what is the karma? How come the pedophile appear? Okay, basically a modern science they can't explain. Well, if you go to try to Google it, okay, what past life they did, you might not be able to get an answer too. But I try to discuss with some monk. Some suggest a very good answer. Well, the probability for a pedophile, there might be past life, they are the eunuch. Eunuch meaning to say that if the attendants who serve the emperor or the king and they have been castrated to avoid them having sexual relationship with the concubine. You know, what does it mean? Taigama. You see, one thing we discover, some pedophile, you see, if let's say the eunuch who have been castrated, basically, they're quite highly educated. At that time, the eunuch, they're quite highly educated, okay? And once they've gone through the process, okay, some, they still have the sexual urge to release. So where to release? If, let's say, they don't have the reproductive organ, so there's a few things they can do. One, they go to play the children. First thing, they go to play the children. If let's say they go to play the children, they get the sexual assignment from the children, and they start. They already have the created karma and become a habitual karma. Once they die and reborn, the habitual will arise. So that's why they will somehow feel that, don't know why they will be sexually excited once they watch a children, especially a naked children. That is the reason, I think, one of it, okay. Well, the unique symptom also can explain maybe homosexual also. For example, you see, if let's say an eunuch, he also need to, to release the sexual, his sexual urge. Maybe he look for a young man. Am I right? He go to play the young man. So in the next life, he may reborn as a homosex. It's a possible. You see, basically some homosexuals, they are very highly educated. They're very smart and even very rich. Why? Do you know or not? Eunuch basically has a very great merit because you see, they are the one who they're very close to the emperor, so they might be very rich and they might be educated and they might learn the Buddhism at the same time. Because in China, the emperor basically quite many of the emperor are Buddhists. So the eunuch follow them, also learn the Buddhism at the same time. They do the merit also at the same time. So that's why you will see that some, maybe the homosexual, maybe some homosexuals, they are the professional, they are very rich and even very handsome. All the conditions very good. It shows that the past life create many good karma. Except, the defect you see homosexual as a defect. But of course nowadays, WHO, according to WHO, homosexuality is not a disease and it is not necessary to amend it. And America and Taiwan, they recognize their legal status nowadays. So this is a new trend, but it is uncommon. It's still uncommon in Malaysia, whereby we are Muslim. Malaysia is the Muslim country. The majority of Muslim, they are still very conservative over this issue. Okay. Well, it's the same only. Have you ever heard about that? Some people they are sexual. How to say this? They prefer go to steal some undergarment. You heard about that, right? The undergarment, especially also basically the perpetrator also is the male. They go to steal the undergarment from the opposite sex. Okay. And then have you ever heard about that? There's one type of people, they prefer, also as a man, they prefer to make up themselves as a woman. They wear they will dress themselves like a woman and do the cosmetic and they feel enjoy. Have you heard about that? Chinese, we call it as a yi zhuang pi. Well, I think it's probably also in the past life they are the illness, so they look for other ways to release their urge. So once they become a habitual, it carry forward in their present life. So this is one of the quite reasonable reason to explain all this phenomena. Okay, because maybe you're curious, you ask, how does Buddhism look at it? Okay, and also sometimes the homosexuality also due to the past life. For example, if let's say you have been woman for 20 life, so this life you become a man. Do you think are you so easily to change your sex? Your sexual identity from the female to male? Not that easy, right? Because of 20 life as a woman, you got a habitual for being a woman. Now this life you become a man. Maybe your brain still is the woman brain. Am I correct? Am I correct? Am I right? Okay. So that is also another issue. Maybe past life, the habitual is still there. Then the third one, especially this type of, we call it as a heterophobe, I don't know how to put it. Okay. Well, there's a different phenomena. One is a homosex. Okay, homosex or lesbian, meaning to say that there is a man brain in a woman body, or a woman brain in a man body. Secondly, second type people is they possess both of the sexual organ. They possess man and woman, both of the sexual organ within one body. Okay, so this is another type of anomaly in terms of sexuality. Then well, this is a few things. We call it IGBT, LGBT, then I, intersex also. Well, all this happen, basically, Buddhism point of view, all involve karma. If let's say they come to us, basically we advise them to do the meditation or maybe to do some mantra chanting. Because all these involve imbalance in hormone, According to our Vedanta text, 1,000 years ago, there's one type of people, they half man act as a woman, another half man act as a male. It can be like that, Oh, half man act as a man, half man act as a woman. So meaning to say that the first half man, there must be excretion of the woman hormone to make them act like a woman. Another half man, there must be the excretion of the masculine hormone and make them act like a man. So that is something, it happened 1,000 years ago, and it all had been recorded. LGBTI, all this recorded in our Vinaya. You might be surprised if you really go through the Vinaya, but the Vinaya is limited for us only. So we go through with surprise. Oh, all this happened already. Okay. If let's say one day your son or daughter they are the lesbian or the homosex, is this acceptable for you? If you can accept it, please put up your hand. Yeah. Okay, Daphne. Okay, Kamling, you don't put up your hand. Hey, young people, you don't accept it. I thought young people can accept it easily. Yong Sin, Amanda, and also Chin Chung. Okay, Kamling, why you cannot accept it? Kamling, why?
Not to say not accept, but it may be a shock in a while.
So after the shock,
probably after after counseling or whatever, no, cannot change. Then you have to accept your child is that.
May I know your son and daughter to be counseled, or you are the one to be counseled? You think? You think who should be counseled?
Both
who should be counseled, or they should be counseled? You think? Very funny, huh? Yeah, how about Anya? Huh?
Mm.
Is that acceptable for you if your grandchildren or children is a homosexual or lesbian?
I think if I get over the initial shock, I may gradually accept it because it's something that you can't change.
Okay,
No matter what counseling you give them, they will still go back. So in the end, I think I will still accept it after my shock.
No, I mean, at the end, you are the one who should be counseled.
Okay.
Am I right? You are the one who should be counseled.
Yeah, it looks like I have to go for counseling.
You are the one, not them, huh?
Yeah. After I've been counseled, I think over it, I think slowly we have to accept.
How about Chin?
We also pity them. It's not that they want it.
Yeah, Chin, will you committed suicide if it happened to you, huh? Chin?
How to say that? So I think this one shouldn't be happen. That's why we're praying for it. We're praying for it. No, this one, all these things don't come to us. I don't know how to counter this.
Well, you are highly educated people. You are out of my expectation. You still stumbling. They say after the shock they will accept it, and after the counseling, but you say you still don't know how to accept it. No.
I don't know how to accept it.
Well, basically, why I want to raise up the issue, basically the homosexual or lesbian is something to do with the brain, actually. Scientifically, if after once the ovum and the sperm they met to each other, okay, once after they integrated together, we call it as a fetus, okay. Well, there's 3 stages for the hormone excretion biologically. In the first maybe 1 or 2 weeks, the excretion of the hormone will make their sex organ for being obvious. If let's say you are the man, okay, the excretion of hormone will make will make the sexual organ to produce for the first stage. Okay, this is regards the hormone excretion. So once it goes to a certain level, it will go to the second stage of the hormone excretion. The hormone excretion is to go to form the brain for themselves. If let's say the sufficient hormone excretion will make the brain, especially a man, if lack of the hormone, then it will become a woman brain, and the woman might become a male brain. Do you get what I mean? I meaning to say that if let's say a man, if let's say the hormone is necessary to produce a female brain, because a female and a male basically they are quite different in their brain. How do we know that? This is the second stage. If let's say insufficient of hormone will make the homosexuality or the lesbian happen. Okay, if when we go to the third stage, it will show the masculine and the feminine symptom. If let's say the insufficient of the hormone, the man will look more sissy, we look like a woman, and the male will look like, and the female will look like a male. So that is the 3 stages. Okay, so meaning to say that a man who is very girly, not necessarily is a homosex. Why? Because if let's say in that particular stage there is a sufficient hormone excretion, so they won't become homosex, even though they are girly. Now, why the men are girly is due to insufficient hormone in that particular level. You get what I mean? And some are homosex, they are very man. They show a very strong masculine. The reason is because the third stage of the hormone excretion is enough, right or not? Sometimes you see the homosexual or the lesbian, they look very man and very woman and very beautiful, very handsome, and even very strong. But basically something is wrong. It's due to the brain structure. How do we know that? Okay, if let's say in the midnight, the tap water is not properly shut down, basically mother or father, who discovered this problem first? Anyone can tell me? If the tap water is not properly shut down, so there's still the water drop out. Basically, mother discover first or father discover first?
Mother.
Why do you say so?
Mother has a more sensitive sense in that the very little small sound, the tiny sound.
Anybody agree with Amanda? Probably have. It should be mother discover, not the father. Yeah, you see? Okay, two people agree with you. Well, Amanda, the reason is not due to the character. The main reason is due to the brain sex. It's about this. Let's take a look. It's about this stuff. It's about the brain sex. According to the science, the structure of the brain for men and women are different. Women inborn are very sensitive to the sound. It makes them, once they go through their early education, in the early stage, primary and secondary stage of education, they got some advantage. Because reading is still considered the hearing power. So this is the reason why in the primary school study, basically women, they are the top. But men, where are the men? They're still playing there, right? Like children, men is still playing there because men take times for being mature, and men, they are more good in visualization. Visualization is a different part of the brain, which is more men, men have the inclination, have a good visualization power. Okay, you see, if let's say, you get lost, okay, if there's a map for you, okay, this is the map, okay. If let's say, without turn the map, can you turn the map in the brain by yourself? The question asked for the woman, can you do it in your brain? Daphne, are you able to do so? In your mind, you turn the map by itself. Are you able to do so?
I don't think so. I'm not good with maps.
How about Kamling, Anya, and Amanda? Are you able to turn the map in your brain by yourself? No, all right. You see. So, well, this is recorded as a visualization power. Basically, most of the men, they are good in this part. So this is the reason why men prefer engine. Because the assemblement of the engine involves the 3D, the assemblement of the engine or Lego or what, it involves another part of the brain, which is more specific for the man. Do you get it? Okay. Well, this is the this is the inborn nature. And once we go to the higher education, especially in science stream, the subject more on the visualization, especially in mathematics and the science. So at that time, men can do better than women. So all the women, they can't be, during exam, they can't do as well as men. So because due to the brain structure, men can do even better. So you see, if let's say a man, okay, and another crucial thing is about the sexual excitement. According to the book, we call it as the brain sex. You see, in our brain, there's a certain, we call it as amygdala. Amygdala. Yeah, class, take a look. So this is the amygdala. Basically, if let's say a man feel enjoy seeing the opposite sex is due to the excitement of the amygdala. But for women, they will enjoy seeing the opposite sex is due to the area around the amygdala. That is something have been proved by the MRI. So in the simple way that if let's say a man possesses a woman brain, so he will act like a homosex. And the lesbian will do the same thing. Okay, so do you get the answer already? Basically, they can't do anything to the brain. You can't. Because the brain is something is very fixed during, once you are in your mother womb, it's something fixed already. You can't change it. Okay, so you can go through a class. Whatever I say, I read from this book, 脑内乾坤. Let's take a look. Yeah, this book. 脑内乾坤 bring sex. Yeah, you can copy down the name of the book, so you understand that basically the feature for men and women all relates to the brain and it has been thoroughly studied by the science. Okay, so you get it. Okay, so from this Vinaya, we broadly discuss all the issue. Any questions? Is this clear for you? Okay. Maybe over detail lah, maybe over detail. Basically the class, maybe some people they prefer science, they feel interesting for this part lah. But maybe okay. Well, just now Amanda and Jing Xing, you put up your hand now. You mean you are not acceptable to homosex, Amanda?
I think it's not natural.
Not natural. Are you Christian?
I'm not Christian. I mean, the reason why we have men and women, that's the reason. I think that's the natural to me.
A natural thing. And they must be able to produce the offspring. That is, you call it normal. Is this correct?
Yes, that's what in the understanding. Yeah.
But of course, today I tell you things a little bit different already. It's something to do with the brain lah. So meaning to say that you have to accept that sometimes the relationship will produce no outcome.
Yeah, I have my cousin is a male. He went to US study, and after he came back, he became gay. Yeah, so I think it's no wrong from what I see from him. He's happy and he's not doing any wrong thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's fine.
There's some reason behind. I also got a few students they are gay also. They explain to me now they are quite thorough study and they prove that sometimes might not necessary to produce the offspring, because sometimes if they say a gay can prevent they are the factor which prevent the overpopulation. Yeah, because we have the problem of overpopulation, right? But some as a gay and lesbian, meaning to say they can prevent, they become the factor. To avoid the overpopulation, they say so. Well, anything, Amanda, since you understand it's something to the brain, then your perception will be different a little bit. Also, all is decided by the brain. And who decide your brain? You yourself, your past life activity. Class, whatever you did your past life, you will decide what are you in this life. Basically, people there's a mixture of the good and the bad things together. So you will see like what you say, maybe he's a homosexual, but he is excellence in every aspect. Is this correct, Amanda? He excellence in every aspect. Very good. Yeah, Chin. So after the brain sex, is it acceptable for you already if your grandchildren is homosex?
I think acceptable because this is not his fault. This is brain fault.
So meaning to say this is the counseling section for you, you mean?
Yeah, correct.
Counsel already. Okay. Well, anything. I'm considered open mind because I open myself to all the science and knowledge. Basically, I need facts. So this is what I tell you. If let's say the conservative religions school, basically they won't think in this way. If they are very conservative, there are some religions in Muslim, Christian, and also in Buddhism. They all got the progressive. They also got the one who is very progressive. Also got someone is very conservative. It depends who you meet too. So I let you know, for me, I'll be more open to the science. I want the explanation from the science, the valid explanation. Okay, so that's why I share with you. But it's up to you to how acceptable you are. But I hope that if let's say, especially Chin, your friend is about this age, if you can accept it, you can counsel them also. Okay, so this is about this issue. Okay, so no much questions, so we go further. Okay, next, let's take a look. Now we go to the precept number 4th precept. Okay, Jin, can you please read through it? Aware of the suffering.
Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and inability to listen to others. I vow to cultivate loving speech and deep listening in order to bring joy and happiness to others and relieve others of their suffering. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I vow to learn to speak truthfully with words that inspire self-confidence, joy, and hope. I am determined not to spread news that I do not know to be certain, or not to criticize or condemn things of which I am not sure. I will refrain from uttering words that can cause division or discord, or that can cause the family or the community to break. I will make all efforts to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll go through a video clip before the discussion. Let's take a look. Enjoy the video clip. Okay, class, off your mic, please.
Here's some money. What do we got here? This has a fractured fibula. Give it a center it so you can be able to go on tomorrow. Daddy's gonna be so excited. That killed him.
Paging, Doc. I don't hate your mother. Morning, Beth. Look at the cute dog.
Okay, class, applaud to the production. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, yes. Okay, what do you learn from the video clip? Daphne? Yes.
That you shouldn't judge too quickly. There's always like context which you should take into consideration. You should always try to understand and not from the surface level, something like that.
Okay, if let's say you are the one who inside the story, so basically how will you react if you have been misunderstood? I mean, people wrongly interpret you. So what will you do? Anya, yes.
What do you mean, sir?
If
You
people,
mean
yeah, people,
misunderstood and accuse me of doing something I didn't do?
yeah. For
Okay.
example, you are the last.
It depends on
No,
depends on the situation.
Let me see first. Okay, you see, for example, the last case, the one guy I go to pick up the biscuit, right? But the people do we see he eat the shit, right? Okay, if you are the man, okay, people wrongly interpret that, or they thought, oh, you eat the shit. So how will you respond?
Because I think maybe I'll just show them that, hey, this is a biscuit, or I'll just ignore them and continue walking with my dog.
Oh, okay, so this is one way. Yongxin, yeah. If let's say, yeah, if you are the case, what will you do?
I'll do the same like Anya.
Oh, same with Anya. Okay, but if let's say you are the girl, okay, you see, wow, look at the shit now. So, what I mean, will you go to? I mean, will you go to do the further step, or you just So he eat shit lah. That's all.
If I'm seeing the person who eats shit, you mean?
Yes, if you are the one who you are the witness. I mean, will you try to really clarify it, or you will believe what you see, like just not the scenario?
I think I think I'll believe partially. And then if it's really bothering, that I go and clarify. If it doesn't bother, I just take that impression.
Oh, so it is interesting also seeing people eat shit like you mean, huh?
Yeah, and I go back to tell my friends also.
Oh.
Tell my family.
So all laugh together, but basically,
yeah.
Meaning to say that it's quite hard to clarify because you already witness by your eye, so obvious.
Yeah.
Oh, then you say, oh, the guy is shit. You say or not? Oh, okay. Yeah. Kamling, anything you want to add in for these cases? These few cases.
It happens in our daily life. What we see, we believe what we see. But we should get clarification if really don't accuse people of this lah.
But I think if let's say you have been accused of eating shit, maybe you won't bother. But if let's say you have been accused of stealing, you might be not that easy for you to let go. Am I right? Because it's about your reputation, you see.
Yes.
Well, basically, if we have
that one
stealing something, I think you need a clarification. You have to go through it. Okay.
Yes.
Because we don't. Our name good finally, I mean, we'll be victimized by the bad reputation also. Is this correct? You see, yeah. So basically,
yes, you have to find proof.
Yeah, have to prove it okay. Well, of course, after you try to prove yourself already, but people still misunderstood, you can't do anything already. Because basically, I mean, the mouth is on the people. You can't prevent people from saying anything. So finally, if let's say you don't feel regret, you feel okay for yourself, so just don't bother so much. And in Buddhism, we say karma will determine everything. Karma will witness anything. So we must be confident with the karma. Okay. So class basically for these precepts is regards the right speech. For the right speech, there's a few perspectives to go through it. First of all, okay, according to the Vinaya, we should say the correct thing that we don't lie. Basically, why does people lie? Because people they want to hide something just for their own benefit, so they lie. Okay, so what they see, they say they don't see. What they hear, they say they don't hear. All this is due to their own purpose. But of course, a white lie is the exceptional. If let's say after you lie, you can save people. Well, it is necessary to have a white lie also. And sometimes in the career, it is quite common for a white lie. Especially a client say, "Where are you? You are in your house." You say, "Oh, coming." But actually, you still tying your shoe. You say, "Oh, coming. I'm about to come. I'm about to come." But actually, you still maybe more than half an hour to reach. You see, so you have to say the white lie so that you can maintain the relationship with somebody. Okay, so there is another white lie issue. But of course, don't make use with the white line. Not that good, the white line. Don't use too frequent because finally people will lose the trust to you if you overuse it. Okay, so this is about the issue for the light. Then second, it's about talk bad mouth over people. Sometimes people they will bad mouth. Okay, why? Because the jealousy over the relationship between two of them. So they have to bad mouth. They will bad mouth. Okay, out of the jealousy. That is not good. The karma finally will go back to you that you don't have a good relationship with somebody because you always to split people's relationship. So you end up you can't have a good relationship with somebody. Okay, now we go back to one case scenario. Okay, if let's say, okay, you all come to my temple and learning. Okay, so deaf me, okay, for example, deaf me know Chin very well. He know that Chin used to borrow the money without returning the money. So deaf me come to me and tell the abbots that, oh, you have to be careful with Chin because Chin used to borrow money and never return one. So how do you judge deaf me behavior? Yes. Yongsit, how do you judge it?
Actually, I have friends like that.
Oh, okay. So what will you do, Okay, what will you do,
I just treat them as they are, they're really like that, and then I will not lend them any money. And I will tell white lie also to say that I don't have money.
No, what I mean is, Daphne come to tell me, do you think is Daphne try to badmouth, try to spoil the relationship between I and Chin, or Chin and I?
I don't really think so, no.
Why?
From my experience.
Why you say?
Because they might have already experienced it, and they have already experienced it, and I really have the experience that they come and ask money from me. So,
okay,
for that particular people,
okay. So for Amanda, okay, how should you express yourself so that I wouldn't misunderstood that Daphne actually tried to badmouth over Chin? How should Daphne express herself so that I wouldn't misunderstood? You know what I mean? I mean, possible I will be misunderstood, right? Because you come and keep on saying Chin all the bad things, right? Oh, okay. Well, how should you express yourself so I won't misunderstood?
If I were in Daphne position, I would tell Master that I know that Mr. Chin is wanted to borrow some money, but I just want to share with you what happened in the past, that Mr. Chin has did borrow money but never returned. It may be in the past, but just to let you know, just be aware.
Oh, okay. So meaning to say you will try to express in a polite way, avoid or being over emotion so that to avoid misunderstood. Am I right?
Yes, I will do that.
Okay, Chin quite experienced, I think, with this issue. Yes, Chin, what do you think for this issue? If you are me, the abbot, how do you view Daphne?
I will try to investigate first. This one. Don't believe in people's mouth. That's they say. So have to be investigate.
Okay, if let's say after the investigation, I noticed that Daphne really have is your enemy, then how to conclude? After investigation, I discover, oh, Daphne and Chin, the turn become enemy due to a project competition. So finally, Daphne lost already. How do you conclude? Is that the case?
That's the case. Then we should believe that this Daphne is wrong, doing something wrong because cannot say that you cannot simply go and excuse it. So you have to be careful on this also.
Yeah. Okay, class. Do you think it is possible that it's Daphne really lose out during the competition? They are the enemy, but Chin also really borrow the money everywhere. What I mean is, sometimes in the real world, Daphne will take opportunity to take the revenge by using the real facts. So he will use the facts to hide his, to hide his anger. Is it possible? I think if let's say Daphne is very smart people, he will use this skill. Because you have to hide people that actually your anger. You have to you have to show that you are actually sincerely to help me. But basically, maybe he tried to use me just to get rid of a Chin, so that Chin won't come to my temple. Is this correct? I mean, a real society can be more complicated. It can be both all things. It's a real one. So meaning to say that, so everything, if we talk about the karma, everything go back to the intention. Plus, if let's say Daphne, you are come with out of a good intention, all right? You come to see me, you talk to me, maybe the way not nice, I misunderstood. But basically, since your intention is good, so you don't need to worry so much. Because you really for the sake for the temple. You know what I mean? Because whether I misunderstood, whether I take it or not, it also depends on my experience, how to handle the human issue. Is this correct? Okay, yeah, sometimes if let's say you present it politely, people will accept it and they will investigate by themselves. And if they really go to the deeper, and because if it is both of you are very important to me, I will really investigate deeply and I will notice that, yeah, possible also, I mean, you play over the issue. But Chin is the real case also, just borrowing the money everywhere. So you get it. So finally, you have to go back to the intention first, okay, how to see the thing. Okay, so that is the case. We talk about the bad mouth. And then one thing regarding is the harsh word. Harsh word meaning to say that you say something can make people get hurt, maybe for overnight. That's we call it as a harsh word. Sometimes harsh word will integrate it together with the vulgar. Basically, people prefer use the vulgar words to express the anger, and it becomes a harsh word. Okay, so the vulgar word, I mean, is the way to express themselves. But of course, if let's say people express the vulgar word without the anger, it's just a habitual. That's a different story, because it doesn't pick a good language. He always speaking French. This is not a good habit. But our point is about the harsh word. Sometimes the harsh word, even though without any vulgar, it could be very hurtful. Why? Because the way you express. Once you're angry, even you say good day, you can hurt people also. Am I right? If you're very angry, you say good day, you also can hurt. Because people hurt by the energy you express, you admit out, not because the language, the words you use it. Okay, well, basically, we try to avoid because once we hurt the people, we worry that we might be regret tomorrow. So we used to be mindful. I remember there's one analogy. There's one there's one child. Okay, he tried. He used to use a harsh word to speak to the people. Okay, so his father tried to teach him, give him a lesson. So his father said, "Okay, well, child, please son, do me a favor." So he passed a bucket of the nails to the child and one hammer. So he said, please go try to use a hammer, okay, just to, I mean, 锤那个钉子下去 how should I put it? You try to hammer the nail inside, in the fence, in the wood of the fence, or do all, okay. So the child just followed the whole thing to do. So after doing it, so the father said, please try to pull out the nail from the fence, which you did just now. So he tried to pull. So after pulling out, the father said, what do you see from the wood? He said, yes, there's a scars there. Because once after you hammer the nail, you try to pull it out, sure they got a trace there. And basically the trace is irreparable. You cannot repair it. So his father said, the way you have a harsh word is just similar only. I mean, when you hurt people, basically you will dramatize people and very hard to repair it. So from this story, it makes the child understand that a harsh word sometimes will make you regret in the future. So basically, you come and learn meditation, and also meaning at the same time, you learn to be mindful also in all your thoughts. So once you feel angry, basically you should try to cool down yourself before you speak out the harsh word. Okay, so you get what I mean? So it's the definition for the harsh word. Okay, so lastly, it's about some nonsense word, the way I say it. Let's take a look. So from the context, let's take a look. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we should produce a love speech, substitute the love speech, okay, in order to and avoid the unmindful speech, all right? Then we should speak something truthfully, and also we speak something inspire people and give people hope. Okay, we are not certain we don't spread the news. Okay, we learned that already. Well, basically, class, if let's say, especially in WhatsApp and also in Google, if you notice, if you suspect it is a fake news, what will you do? We let the young people share the skill. Amanda, what will you do? If there's a fake news?
Yeah, it's very common now. So normally I will go to Google to check when is the date and then whether there are official source like the newspaper and all that supporting the message. If not, then I will not share.
Oh, yeah. Anya, are you used to verify the news before you spread it out?
Yes, I do read through and I try to verify. Then if it's fake news, and maybe I'll text the person and say, hey, this is fake news, do not spread. My friends are used to me doing that.
Very good,
Sorry to say.
very good, very good. Well, I think maybe elderly, the senior here, they are quite highly educated, so they are not a normal auntie, because normal auntie, they don't think too much, they just click only, then spread it, right? And not the normal auntie. But here, I think that the senior, they are highly educated, they know all this. Okay, basically, go to śrāmaṇera.com for the verification. śrāmaṇera.com. There's a few of the website used to verify it. And now in Xinju also, they got one column called it 求证. They also verify the news every day, the fake news every day. So make sure you do it. So the best, you go to read the newspaper. The Facebook, wherever news, make sure the reference is from newspaper, because the editorial will play the roles over it. Okay, so more safe for you. If let's say the source is unknown, I just ignore it. Okay, you don't spend too much time to all this type of news. Yeah. Okay, so next, let's take a look. Yeah, then refrain from uttering the words can cause division or discord. All right, then can cause the family or the community to break. Okay, so I will make all effort to reconcile and resolve all the conflict, however small. Okay, well, how do you know that you need to do some reconciliations? Maybe in a simple way, how do you know that people are angry over you and you need to take the further step for reconciliation? Okay, yeah, Jin Zhong, how do you know that people are happy over you?
Hello, what? Hello?
How do you know that people are unhappy with you and you need to do the reconciliation?
Because people was from their emotion, I know, and from their word and from their tone, they speak with me, and then I can feel it.
Yeah, maybe they don't stare at you once during the communication, and maybe they will use the word you feel not nice.
Body language, their body language, I can judge, and I can feel.
It's possible that somebody they are very insensitivity. People are so angry, but they don't realize. Have you ever met this type of people? They're so insensitive, so they don't know, oh, you are angry. I don't know you are angry.
Sometimes I also like that.
You also like that.
The people are very angry. They're angry with me, but they're angry, and then I just I just see that they're angry. I know they're angry, but I don't feel any angry. I not affected by them.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe I know real die. Not angry because I know real die that the thing happen.
Okay.
Maybe
well, okay. According to the text, you try to reconcile, however small is it, Yeah. Okay. So well, just a few for me. Yeah, Jin. Okay. In what circumstances will you do the reconciliation? How small the issue? How big the issue? You're going to do the reconciliation?
For my case,
yes.
Sometimes I just ignore them lah.
Also ignore,
no lah. I think that's the best way lah. If you argue with him or you respond to him, then if you drag on, I think ignore is better lah.
Ignore is better. Yeah, Kamling, in what circumstances will you do the reconciliation?
After cool down lah, because both argue also, you become very it get bigger, the issue become bigger. Might as well just walk off lah. And then when you cool down 1 or 2 days, then we start again talk.
Very good.
If you need to.
You're very good. Hey, class, if let's say the quarrel between the couple or quarrel become the good friend or the quarrel between the partner. So once there's a quarrel, you feel it is quite strong. Then like what Kamling said, okay, we talk after 5 minutes, say something like that. It's good. Oh, okay, we talk other day. Okay, that is good. We talk next week. That is good. Because sometimes, I mean, if let's say the person is very important to you, you have to do the reconciliation. If let's say you let the wound is there, the work cannot get done. Work will be stuck there, especially your partner. So it is good. So we talk after 1 hour. Then when you choose the proper time, there will be a good communication. It's very good. Of course, Chin, I think it depends on if let's say the person show you the sour face, is the one who opened the gate for you, or is the attendant to press the button for the lift. I think we don't bother so much. But if let's say he is your partner, he is your wife, his husband, he is your working partner, you have to really reconcile with them. Is there anyone prefer invite them for a cup of tea for a conversation? Is there anyone prefer this skill? So invite him go out to have a cup of tea? Definitely. Oh, so definitely you have to ready a lot of money, just to keep the people. So where I know that, oh, definitely call me for a cup of tea. Okay, yeah, I think I won't. I will order more for revenge. Okay, so class, there's a one skill for you to show that you accept you forgive somebody. Well, basically in Visuddhimagga, okay, the last skills you can use to back the forgiveness is to send people the gift. The gift, okay. If let's say you send people gift, okay, the people accept it, meaning to say the door is open. So that you got chance to further the communication. Okay. If let's say the person doesn't accept your gift, so the door is still closed, maybe you need some more other times for the communication. Okay, so class get it? Nowadays, especially the WhatsApp, it's very easy to create this type of feeling. Because whether you read the message or not, because there's some signal there. Especially, Chin, maybe your wife sent you the message. Why you don't read it? You say you already on, you are on 1 hour ago. I sent you the message 3 hours ago, but you don't read it. A lot of this type of stuff can happen. So that's why WeChat have more privacy rather than WhatsApp. I think you can just undone the features. So if let's say, especially people, their mind is very skeptical. They prefer to pick up all this issue to create the trouble. So maybe it's good for us. You can untick all the function. Whether you read or not read, the person don't know. Maybe it's the best. I think you all experienced that before, right? Okay, so there's something. Well, anyway, basically from here we can conclude that if you're living in the human world, basically you'll be very headache. Okay, you feel human is so troublesome. Okay, but even though we found that the people, we found that human is very troublesome for us, but for other body, they also feel that we are troublesome for them. So we trouble each other as a human. So that's why sometimes people are there, some meditator, they prefer not being human anymore. They hope that, oh, next life, I want to reborn to the jhana, because in jhana, they got no more human, no more human relationship, just you yourself only in the meditative state. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So shall I know, is there anyone you fed up with the human relationship and hope maybe you wish to become alone one day? Maybe you can meditate to the higher level. Can you put out your hand? Have you fed up with the human issue? Or Kamling, it's quite true. The rest, I think you agree, right? Basically, our job or occupation is not that difficult. The most difficult part is the human. The human make all the things complicated. Actually, the task is so simple. Is this correct? Agree? Agree, everybody agree. Everybody agree. Is there anybody enjoy the human relationship? You prefer for being misunderstood? You prefer all this type of endless communication? No, people like it. No. Okay. Okay, so class, I think that's for today. I think I stop.